All right, welcome. ZASLOW Show 2.0. It is a Monday, the 30th of January. Good to have you aboard. What a weekend. We will recap all of it. Good to have you here. We, of course, are a Blue Wire podcast. Everything ZASLOW Show 2.0 brought to us by our friends at Anidjar and Levine. Accident attorneys. If you're involved in any kind of injury, you've had an accident, you got a personal injury, you got to make sure you get taken care of. And that's where Anidjar and Levine accident attorneys come in. 800-747-FREE. That's 800-747-3733. Make sure if you're involved in any kind of injury situation, you've had an accident, you let them help you get ready. You focus on your health, and they're going to focus on getting you the money that you deserve. All right, so championship weekend, championship Sunday. Holy crap, we got a lot to get to. What a sports weekend. We got the Miami Heat with, as disturbing a loss you're going to get. The Charlotte Hornets suck. Everybody knows that. And in a scenario where you continue to climb the standings, it feels like one step forward, two steps back. We'll get to the Heat. Very disappointing loss yesterday. The Panthers are on All-Star break. The All-Star game, the festivities, it's here. It's in Sunrise. It's here this weekend, all right? So the Panthers they go into the All-Star break here with maybe their best win of the season. They get a thrilling overtime win Saturday night over the Boston Bruins. We'll get to that also. So before we get to our NFL rundown, we got to start out with the championship games. Before we get to our NFL rundown here, let's do a little recap of the weekend. Otherwise, a couple things I want to point out. WWE Royal Rumble was this weekend. Make sure you catch our Royal Rumble recap show. It's still real to me. ZASLOW Show 2.0. You can go and check that out, obviously. Had a lot of fun doing the preview and the reaction show for Royal Rumble. It was a great show. Cody Rhodes, Rhea Ripley, those are your Royal Rumble winners. They're going to WrestleMania. The big story, of course, the main event, Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns. What's going to happen tonight on Monday Night Raw? So, huge show tonight as far as Raw goes. I'm really looking forward to that. You got no Heat basketball tonight, no Panthers hockey tonight. So it works out really well. We're going to be dialed in, focused on my stories tonight, Monday Night Raw. And make sure you go back and you listen to our recap show from Royal Rumble. It's still real to me. I saw over the weekend, my son and I, my older son, soccer starts up next weekend as far as, he's got training, but games start up next weekend, so shit's about to pop off, all right? So this past weekend was the last weekend, really for the next few months, that we don't have soccer, and we see a lot of movies. So we went and we saw the movie. There's a bunch of movies that are out right now that we want to see. We want to see Megan. That's the movie with the doll who is has its own AI, and it kills people to protect this little girl. All right, that movie looks crazy. We also want to see the movie Infinity Pool. Have you seen the trailer for this Infinity Pool? Alexander Skarsgård, it looks batshit, all right? I don't know if I'm going to be able to see it with my son. It may be inappropriate for him, but this Infinity Pool looks wild. So there's some, I think there's one more movie that's out there right now that I want to see. But anyway, we went and saw the movie Plane this weekend. Yo, let's go see a good action flick. Plane with Gerard Butler. That movie's good. If you just want an action movie that you don't have to think too hard, real easy to understand, get in, get out, all right? So Gerard Butler, he plays a pilot, and the plane, they lose power. They went through an electrical surge in a storm, and they land on this remote island in the Philippines, which is run by insurgents, and it's a disaster. And so they wind up having to kind of survive on this island. They have to survive and then wait for rescue, to get off this island while they're being they've been taken as hostages by these insurgents. But here's the twist. So on the plane, there's a convict transport, a guy who's committed homicide. He's being transported to some prison. He's going to spend the rest of his life there, obviously. But when they crash, this convict, he helps Gerard Butler, the pilot. He helps them fight off the bad guys. That's the movie. I don't need to explain anything else to you. That's the movie. So we really enjoy that. Like I said, easy. Sometimes you want just a good popcorn movie, Popcorn movies, just sit there, enjoy the movie. You don't have to think too hard. Get in, get out. That's what this movie Plane was. Really enjoyed it, so I recommend that. So we had a fun weekend. Like I said, Royal Rumble was the star of the weekend. We went and saw the movie Plane. That was fun. Went to Briny yesterday. You know, Briny's my spot. If you're looking to watch the Super Bowl coming up in a couple weeks, Briny Irish Pub, Pompano Beach, world's greatest upscale dive bar. You take Atlantic Boulevard all the way to Atlantic Ocean. Don't park in the ocean. Park behind the Briny. They will validate your tag. Free parking there. Live music every single day at the Briny. And of course, Monday through Friday, got happy hour, the Briny hour, starting at 4 p.m. I was there yesterday. I'm on the wall now. I made the wall on the Briny. You know, they got pictures of people who come by, what have you. And we got a picture of me doing this show. So I'm on the wall at the Briny. That's awesome. I love that. We had a great time there. World's greatest upscale dive bar. If you're looking for a place to watch games or you just want some good music, you want to get some good food, craft beers on tap, Briny Irish Pub, Pompano Beach. You know that's my spot. So, like I said, before we get to, NFL rundown, that's the main story here. We're going to talk some NBA coming up in a little bit here with Zach Harper. You hear him on Sirius XM radio. You hear Mad Dog Radio, Meadowlark Media, of course. He's a good guy, actually, to talk a little bit about the movies with, all right? Because he does that Cinephobe podcast with Amin El Hassan, right? So we'll get Zach Harper on. We're going to talk some NBA with him. We'll do some Heat basketball. He also writes for The Athletic, so there you have it. We haven't spoken to him in a while, so we'll get him on the show. And like I said, you hear him doing all kinds of stuff with Meadowlark Media also. Cinephobe, we'll do some movies with him too, but mostly NBA, mostly Heat. The Heat, terrible yesterday afternoon at the Hornets. You got trade rumors out there as far as the Heat are concerned. So we'll get to all that good stuff. But you know what time it is. It's a Monday. The big story from the weekend was our championship games. Let's do our NFL Championship Sunday NFL rundown. Of course, it's brought to us, as it has all season, by Brunt Insurance. BruntInsurance.com. You got to make sure if you need to get your home covered, well, you have to get your home covered. You got to get homeowners insurance, all right? Brunt Insurance and Financial Services. The market is really confusing out there. If you're just searching around, what kind of insurance should I get? What kind of coverage do I need? That's where Brunt Insurance comes in. Let Brunt Insurance sort this out for you. Fully licensed staff. They know the area because, hey, they're in the area. But we're talking all of Florida, Pensacola to the Keys and beyond. Brunt Insurance and Financial Services delivers comprehensive insurance and financial solutions tailored to your needs. I've been using Brunt Insurance to help cover my home for about 10 years now, all right? They specialize not just home, but auto and life insurance. So whatever your price range is, whatever you need covered, they're going to be able to sort it out for you. If you need affordable care, like I said, that offers the best coverage for your automobile, your home automobile, motorcycle, even your boat, the right call is Brunt Insurance. 954-589-2204. They got the expertise and experience to make sure that the right coverage is for your house right now. Comprehensive policies for whatever you got going on, all right? It could be really it could make you nervous what you want to get to cover your home, to cover your car, to cover your boats. You got to make sure you're taken care of, all right? So take it from me. I wouldn't be recommending them if I didn't use them myself, and I know I can trust them. So at Brunt Insurance on social media, bruntinsurance.com, and of course you can call today and make sure you're covered. 954-589-2204. Let's get to our Championship Sunday NFL rundown. The afternoon started out with the NFC Championship game. The Eagles, they're a slight favorite. I think they were -3 going into the game. Actually, I know they were because we had the Eagles. The Eagles were -3 going into the game yesterday. Brock Purdy has never lost. Brock Purdy gets hurt early in the game, but right before that, the Eagles, they went ahead 7-0.
Aggressive teams in attempting fourth downs.
Second and goal. Hand it off. Sanders walks in. Touchdown, Eagles.
So that got the Eagles on the board there. That was the first of 2 touchdowns there for Miles Sanders. Like I said, Brock Purdy would now get hurt. Josh Johnson has to come in. But the 49ers, they seem like, all right, we're still going to be able to hang around. You got a big run from Christian McCaffrey, which tied the game at 7. That was a bit of a shocker. We're now early into the second quarter, and Miles Sanders would give back the Eagles. So there you go. As you had now, the Eagles go ahead 14-7. And from this point on, it was all Eagles the rest of the way. Jalen Hurts didn't have to do much. They ran the ball a ton. They were able to run out the clock. It was a real ho-hum victory because then Josh Johnson got a concussion. Brock Purdy had to come back in the game, even though he can't throw the ball because of his elbow. And it was a total disaster for the Niners. It was a huge letdown because you figured this game was going to be a knockdown, drag-them-out type of affair. And instead, it was a really boring blowout victory for the Eagles. And that's the part about football that really bugs you, or at least bugs me, where it really does come down to which team's healthy, which team's players don't get hurt. And there's so much luck involved there. And I hate that about football. It comes down to which team gets lucky as far as the injuries. And the 49ers have been unlucky all year. They got lucky with Brock Purdy, but then he winds up getting hurt. Johnson gets hurt, and you literally don't have a quarterback. Jalen Hurts was 15 of 25 for 121 yards. He had 39 yards rushing and a touchdown. Miles Sanders, 42 yards rushing. He had the 2 touchdowns there. 31-7. The Eagles win the NFC. Here's Jalen Hurts after the game in the locker room.
That's a great win right there. Hey, I want to give gratitude to everybody in this locker room right now. Everybody in this locker room, because we talk about being a family. We talk about what that means. We practice that every day. But today, we play together. Today, we had each other back. Today, we played like a family. We played like a family. And we still did what? We still left money on the table. We still left that. And I admire, nah, ain't no but. And I admire the faces that y'all have here. Like, I love that. I love that because we know what we can do. And we know what we can be. And we know it's in our hands. And that's how it's going to always be. But we continue to take these steps and take advantage of every opportunity we have moving forward, and we can be a really dominant football team. Every time, every play. But we got to turn up in this game! I'm proud of y'all, man. Hey, family. We a family. We go hard together. We go through everything together. Everything together. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
I gotta be honest. I'm pretty impressed with Jalen Hurts. He seems like an easy guy to root for. I think he's the MVP of the league. I don't know if he's going to win it. I mean, it's either him or Mahomes. I mean, the 2 MVPs of the league, 2 potential MVPs, are now facing off in the Super Bowl. We'll get to the AFC in a second here. I'm impressed with Jalen Hurts. He's been fantastic. Very similar situation to Tua going into this season where you didn't really know if the Eagles like him. And by the way, speaking of Tua and speaking of the Eagles there, similar situation and the coach as well. Nick Sirianni, you go back before last year, like his introductory press conference, it was kind of a joke. People were making fun of him, you know. A coach does not have to be a finished product in his first year. Same thing with the quarterbacks. Rookie quarterbacks, they're going to grow. You look at the growth with Tua. You look at the growth with Jalen Hurts. Why wouldn't a coach get better after his first year? Why would a coach be a finished product in his first season? I made that point, the latter part of the season about Mike McDaniels. And I think you could say Mike McDaniel, and I think you could say the same thing about Nick Sirianni. Rookie coaches are going to make mistakes. And there's so much room to grow. And you see that now. Sirianni, the Eagles, they're in the Super Bowl. I think they obviously have a shot. They're in the Super Bowl. But I don't see the Chiefs as being this invincible team. Right now, the Eagles are a 2.5-point favorite. Early line, I know it's moved even a little bit so far at the start here over the last, 24 hours. Eagles are out 2.5-point favorite. Yeah, that seems about right to me. I think the Eagles should be favored. So let's get to the AFC here, because this is where all the drama was, right? So, Chiefs end up winning the AFC 23-20 over the Bengals. Let's get right down to the nuts and bolts here, all right? So, we're late in the game.